Hey, what's up, y'all? In this video, we're going to be walking you through some social media frameworks and specifically how you can use Facebook and Instagram ads in order to grow your church. And I'll even introduce you to a church plant that used this exact 4-part framework to go from 0 to 200 in only 5 months. So let's dive into how to run effective Facebook and Instagram ads coming up. Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, we're going to be walking you through a social media framework in order to help you run more effective Facebook and Instagram ads. And this has actually been proven and used at churches all over the country for the last several years. So I have tons of friends who have used this exact strategy. I've even helped hundreds of churches use this strategy as well. And it works really, really well at reaching people outside of your church. And make sure you stick around to the end because I think the last point here is the most overlooked one that most churches forget about. So let's dive in. Okay, so step one is you're gonna set up a targeted Facebook ad. Now, an important caveat is that this is not a boosted post. So you're not gonna go to your church Facebook page, post something, and then boost it out, right? That's something different. A boosted post is not a Facebook ad. So if you wanna create a true Facebook ad, you actually have to go to facebook.com/ads manager. Facebook's always changing around the way that the ads manager looks, right? So if it looks a little bit different here, don't freak out. But as of right now, all you have to do is click on the green create button, and that's how you start your first ad. Now, one of the things that most people don't know is that this is actually how you run Instagram ads as well. You don't run Instagram ads from Instagram, you actually run Instagram ads from Facebook. Sounds a little crazy, it's a little bit confusing, but that's just how it is. Facebook owns Instagram. There's 2.7 billion people on Facebook. There's another billion people on Instagram. So you can set up Facebook ads and reach everyone on Instagram as well for no additional charge, which is pretty cool. Now, if you're specifically trying to reach young families, this is phenomenal because the largest age demographic on Facebook are people ages 25 to 34, right? So especially if you're trying to reach young families with elementary school age kids, Facebook is perfect, right? And as a lot of us already know, Instagram is perfect for reaching that 18 to 35 demo. So by running ads on both Facebook and Instagram, you're definitely gonna hit a lot of that younger generation, but you're also gonna reach plenty of empty nesters and senior citizens as well. Now, a couple of things when you set up your Facebook ad. You can do either a picture or a video, and I recommend testing both, but typically a video usually works a little bit better, right? And the best way to do a video is not to set up like a professional camera and a video shoot. You don't want it to look like this YouTube video right here. This is great for YouTube. It is not great for Facebook and Instagram. The best way to do that is actually just to take a smartphone, right, and to hold it up and down, hold it vertically, and actually shoot a selfie video. And so we've actually found that if you do a walking selfie video, you usually drive a lot more engagement. Meaning if you just go someplace in your town where you're kind of walking around downtown and you're just slowly walking, people are gonna watch because they start looking and they recognize like, oh wait, is he on Main Street? Or hey, is he out in front of the Quick Trip? Or right, and they're gonna see that you're local and they're gonna watch. And as you're walking and you're just showing different things in the background, a cool little pro tip is you can walk around a corner or through a doorway, and this actually re-engages people's brain, right? So doorways and walking around corners are just natural transition points for our brain. So this is a great way to kind of re-engage people, especially if you're walking down Main Street. I've done this a couple of times when I've done videos for my church as well, is you'll be walking down Main Street and then I'll turn a corner 10 to 15 seconds in, and now everyone's like looking to see, okay, what street's he on? And right, and so they're listening, but they're also actively watching the background, and it's gonna keep people watching your videos longer. So pretty cool tip. So we've also found that if you're married and you have a spouse in the video, it'll always perform a lot better. We actually had a friend of mine whose ads were actually doing really, really well, but as soon as we put his wife into the video, that literally cut the cost per click in half. We now had twice the amount of people that we were reaching for the same amount of money, simply because we had both husband and wife in that selfie video. And for the targeting, you want to make sure to leave everything wide open. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see churches make all the time. Because Facebook and Instagram have such robust targeting features, it's really easy to go in there and start over-targeting, right? So you might say, hey, we're trying to reach young families, so we want to reach everyone between the ages of 31 and 33 who have 3 kids, who love orange juice and Domino's pizza, and they hate Pizza Hut, right? Like what happens is when you do that, you're just like shrinking that so small that you have such a tiny pool of people that actually meet those qualifications that your cost per click goes through the roof, and now you're barely reaching anyone at all, right? So I don't recommend doing that. Instead, you want to do the complete opposite. You actually just want to drop a pin on your church, right? So if you've never set up a Facebook ad before, you literally just type in the address of your church. It's going to drop a pin, and then you want to pull a radius out that's going to be driving distance of your church, right? So this is different for everybody depending on where in the country you live, right? So for me, my church in Tulsa, it's about 10 to 15 miles. I will drop a pin on our location. I'll draw out a radius about 15 miles, and then I target everyone between the ages of 18 and 65 plus, and I leave it wide open. I want that potential audience size to be as big as possible so we can reach as many people as possible, and then you'll move on to step 2. Okay, step number 2 is you want to set up a plan your visit landing page. Now, it's important that on your landing page, you only have one call to action, right? Your call to action is just going to be a button that's going to say plan your visit now. So what happens is whenever people click on that, they can then go and submit their name, email, and phone number and basically schedule an appointment to visit your church. So you can do this one of two ways. You can either just have a button that links to like a type form or some other type of form builder, or my personal favorite, you can use something like Text in Church in order to do this. Text in Church is one of my favorite technology tools out there. Tyler Smith and the rest of the team at Text in Church are absolutely amazing. And the technology that they built is so helpful. In fact, when we started doing it at our church, I was blown away by how many people we started reaching that we were previously missing before we used Text in Church. So their plan a visit feature is amazing. You can plug all of that in there, and it's super, super easy. In fact, we've actually got a link down in the description below. If you want to check that out, you can actually get 3 months of Text in Church absolutely free, so you can try it out for yourself. And then I'm sure you'll be reaching out to me saying, Abbo, you're a genius. Text in Church is awesome. Now, here's the deal. If you decide to build the form builder yourself, you don't want to embed it on the landing page, right? I've seen this happen a lot of times. It's like, oh, why would we have a button that goes to the form? We'll save one of the steps and we'll just put the form on the page itself. Don't do that, okay? Whenever you do that, it will kill your conversions. I've seen this hundreds of times. I've literally split tested this thousands of times. And what happens is, for whatever reason, if you have a button that connects to the form, you'll get a lot more people filling it out. But for whatever reason, if you just have a form on the page, people won't fill it out. I don't get it. I don't know why, but I promise that's the case. So make sure to have a button, and then just make sure to have lots of smiling, happy people on that landing page, right? You probably want to have at least 4 to 5 different plan your visit buttons. You want to have lots of pictures of smiling, happy people, and you want to use lots of snack size content, right? So what I mean by that are headlines, sub-headlines, bullet points, numbered lists. You never want to have a giant paragraph of text, because the way that people read stuff on the internet is we scan, right? So the average person only reads about 20% of a web page. So you know that they're going to scan, they're going to see the pictures, they're going to see some of the videos, and for your text, it just needs to be in very easy bite-sized pieces of information, right? So if you have a paragraph of text, you want to split that up and only put 1 or 2 lines of text on each line so that you have lots of space in between it. Again, it just makes it easily scannable. It's really going to help your conversion rate. Okay, so before I get to my last couple of points, man, I want to hear from you guys. Have you tried Facebook ads before, right? Did they work? Did they not work? Man, let me know. I want to hear from you in the comments below. And if you have any questions about Facebook ads or how to set any of this up, let me know. I promise to read everyone and to personally respond. All right, step number 3, plan your visit. Right, so now you've got people signing up for Plan Your Visit. What's the best thing to do? So you want to make sure to call the Plan Your Visits within 15 minutes. Now, when my buddy was actually planning his church down in Florida, he went all in on the strategy, right? He created some incredible walking selfie videos that are running to his landing page, right? And then he was calling all of the Plan Your Visits within 15 minutes. And we started it about 4 weeks before his church actually launched. The cool thing is he ended up having 107 people who planned a visit for the very first service. Right? So church planners out there, you guys feel me, right? Like, how cool would that be if you had 107 people who signed up and basically scheduled an appointment to visit your very first launch service, all right? And now you have their name, email, and phone number so you can follow up with them right before the service and then for the weeks and months afterwards. So pretty cool deal. His church literally went from 0 to 200 in only 5 months because he just continued utilizing the strategy, right? A lot of churches will do that all the way up until their event or Christmas or Easter or New Year's, or even like their church launch, but then afterwards they stop running ads, right? We call that splash marketing. You make a big splash and then you disappear, no one ever hears about you again, right? Consistency is key whenever you're utilizing the strategy. So you want to make sure to call the Plan Your Visits within 15 minutes, and you just want to have a smiling, happy person to host each family that's showing up, right? So you're not going to have an avalanche of people the very first time you run this. If you have 1 or 2 families the first week, that's incredible, right? So all you want to do is just have your people, right? Like your natural extroverts, the people that have never met a stranger, they're super friendly, and you want to just assign them to each visitor that signs up for Plan Your Visit. So if you have 2 people that sign up for it, you're gonna have 2 different hosts, and all they have to do is just help them get their kids checked into kids church, give them a tour of the building, save seats for them in service, introduce them around to some key staff and leaders, right? It's important for them to meet other people while they're there, and then make sure that they meet you as the pastor as well, because 80% of people who meet the pastor on the first visit will come back for a second visit. So no matter what happens, always make sure that every single guest has a chance to meet you, because 8 out of 10 of them will come back for a second visit. And finally, number 4 is follow-up. Now, again, this is the number 1 most overlooked part of the framework. I see churches do this all the time, right? They'll nail their Facebook ad, they'll nail the landing page, they'll get plenty of Plan Your Visits, but they don't have an extended follow-up system in place. So what happens is you end up having a lot of people who slip through the cracks. Now, again, I talked about Text in Church before, but I cannot say enough great things about that piece of software. You can actually create an extended follow-up system inside of it. They actually have a 6-week follow-up system that they've already built out inside of Text in Church when you first sign up. And so you can literally just customize it in a couple of minutes, and then all you have to do is start dropping in the information from your Connect cards from everyone who visits on Sunday. You drop them into Text in Church on Monday, and it automatically kicks off that follow-up system. All right, so if you like this video and you want to learn more about how to use Facebook ads and digital ministry in order to grow your church, we got a free gift for you. Just head on over to churchgrowthagency.com or click on the link in the description below. I hope you are having a phenomenal day, and we'll see you soon.